Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos, and today I have for you a Stardust Warrior deck that was shared to me by my boy Ace Grimbus. The only thing I changed from his build is that I added more Krivos, more Sangan, because, you know, I'm kind of a whale in that aspect. I have 3 Sangans. So basically what you want to do with this deck is just a lot of Synchro summoning. There's more cards that I would like to have in the extra deck just to have more options, but unfortunately we still only have 5 cards per extra deck. So you want to go into your Stardust Charge Warrior and to draw into your Shooting Stars. Excuse me, probably should have sneezed before I started recording. But anyway, and then Shooting Star is going to let you destroy a card. If Stardust monster is on the field, target 1 card on the field, destroy that target. So it's really good. We have 2 Will there that we can special summon if we have any level 3 on the field. We have your Junk Synchro engine because I'm going to be running what grows in the graveyard. When I was using this deck, I still didn't have level duplication. I know you can make Wilder decks work a lot better now in level duplication. But for for this deck, I was still using what grows in the graveyard, and I actually got level duplication by winning duels with this deck, so it worked out. We still have the 3 Junk Synchro as I mentioned, and then 1 Junk Destroyer to go along with those Junk Tuners. 3 Sangan lets you search your Wielders and your Junk Synchro, which is really good. It's too bad that he can't search Psychic Tracker. I really wish he could. If Tracker was just 100 attack less would be fine, but unfortunately we can't search it. 3 Trackers, this is really good. It gives your monsters a 600 attack boost. If you use Wilder and Tracker for the same Synchro, that 600 attack can be the difference between being able to destroy a monster with Wilder or not. So overall, Tracker is really good. Normal summon 1600 beater when you have game or stuff like that, it's always good. 2 Cosmic Cyclones just to get rid of back row. 2 enemy controllers. We swarm the board fairly easily, so Econ Take for game is always in play, especially with something like Junk Synchro, because if you don't need to go into a Synchro and Econ Take gives you game, you just use the Dark Verger and then you win the game. 2 Canadia, basic back row. It also helps you go into your level 5 with Junk Synchro. Even though we're only running 1 level 5 because the extra deck is just so tight, man. There's not enough room. I had to take out a Stardust Dragon when I'm running Shooting Star. That's how tight this extra deck is. We have Mistworm, who took the place of Stardust Warrior. I wasn't too scared about dealing with something like Duel because Wilder and Stardust Charge Warrior can't get rid of Duel, because you make it mistiming. So there's ways to deal with the card, and so I went with Mistworm instead because Mistworm can return 3 cards that your opponent controls, and a lot of times that's going to give you game. Against 6 Samurais, even if it doesn't give you game, it can put them back a lot, especially if they have cards with Bushido counters on them. You just send them back to the hand, reset them, and then they're that much behind in the duel. So 2 Stardust Charge Warrior, the main card of this deck, lets you draw 1, works with Shooting Star, and that's basically it. If you use the Tracker to summon it, he's going to be at 2600, which is not bad. And he can also attack all special summon monster your opponent controls once each. So I haven't had to use that effect. That's more for something like maybe Despots or for hires, but didn't really run into a whole lot of those. So let's go ahead and show you some replays. Excuse me, my voice sounds a little weird. I woke up about 45 minutes ago or so, and I haven't spoken to anyone, so this is my first time talking today. Alright, we got a Yugi Moto. There's gonna be a lot of 6 Sams matchups because that's just what's in both ladders at the moment. This were in the KC Cup. I did get DLV Max last night if you didn't watch the stream. It was pretty fun. So I didn't want to just summon my Tracker and then lose any sort of combo potential for next turn. So I'm just going to set both Econs to protect myself. He doesn't have a Synchro play into Shien, so all he's doing is dealing a lot of damage. So we're gonna go Junk Synchron, Special Summon Tracker, Special Summon Junk Destroyer, destroy 2 cards, and we're gonna destroy the back row and destroy the Legendary Secret of the Six Samurai, because by destroying this, the Kageki goes down to 200, so we deal more damage that way. He goes for Inishi, activates Ties That Binds, but I guess he forgets that you need to control one more monster other than one more Six Samurai monster other than Inishi to activate the effect, so it's alright, it happens. But yeah, we got DLB Max with the Six Samurai deck that I uploaded last, and it was pretty fun, man. Some of it was tilty. I went in a pretty rough stretch, just, you know, bad play on my part and some unlucky draws, but we did manage to get DLB Max at the end of the day. We're going up against Dinos, I think. Maybe not, there's no Jurassic Kingdom. So it's gonna double Cyclone my Cosmic Cyclone, which is whatever. I'm gonna set Shooting Star, and I just go for the Sangan because I don't have a real play right now. And fortunately, he's gonna destroy my Shooting Star and special summon a Sacred Phoenix. So I can't really do much. I'm just gonna keep my Canadia, use it in the Phoenix on summon, and hope that he destroys my Sangan so I can search my Wielder. He doesn't destroy it, doesn't even go for the attack. So I'm gonna summon my Junk Synchron, not special summon the Dark Purger, so I can go with Tracker and summon a Mistworm. Send all that back to the hand. Sangan is gonna let me draw into, you know, a follow-up card, which is gonna be Junk Synchron, and then we just hit him for 31. I could have set my enemy controller, but I decided against it. And sets a monster, sets a card. We're gonna go for the Dark Burger now. Summon our mateys in case that's like a, in case that was like a, you know, Fire King. And I don't even know what it was because he just scoops after I summon Canadia, so probably not Fire King Yashka. Alright, next we have Alexis. So I still need to play around with Quick Draw Synchron. I have 2 of them, and I have Sangan, so, you know, there's a way for me to search it. But I haven't really figured out how I want to play him. We're going up against Alexis, and I think this is 6 Samurais?
Duel.
Maybe? I don't know. So I don't want to go into my turn 1 Synchro and waste my Wielder's effect, so I'll just go for the sets. Set the Canadia, and this kind of sucks because now I can destroy him with Wielder, but Canadian right there, not only do I save the 1700, I'm also playing around 6 style dual wield, so now he can't activate that. We pick up a Sangan, which is great because we can just swarm the whole board. I could have gone into Mistworm, but I choose against that since I have the Shooting Star face down. He's gonna Floodgate it. I'm gonna activate Shooting Star, destroy the United before my Stardust Warrior goes into defense mode. And at this point, I was able to take away a lot of his advantage. He had to commit, you know, a back row on my Stardust Charge Warrior. We got rid of his United, so he's not drawing anything, and we got rid of his monster. So he's kind of in a top deck situation. Picks up a United and no monster, so I'm gonna get some free damage here. He gets a Kisan, so here I thought I was in a little bit of trouble, but United doesn't give him anything. And I misplay right here, by the way. Was this the one where I misplayed? Can't remember. Yeah, I think I set my Canadia thinking that that there was no delay and there was no 6 style. Something like that. I can't remember. I just remember being mad at myself for some reason. So we destroy the Kisan. We draw 2. We draw 1. I'm sorry. Special summon the Junk Synchron. He gets killed, but that's fine because we have a follow up. And now we can just Econ Cheese and win the game. Yeah, that was a weird duel. I didn't have to deal with a Shien, but you know, Stopping a 6 Samurai deck from getting Shien, it's also part of the counterplay, you know. Some people will look at your deck and be like, well, how do you deal with Duel? How do you deal with Shien? It's like, sometimes you just gotta stop them before they get there. And here we got a Jaden. Probably another 6 Samurai.
Duel.
Yep. Shien's Dojo into a Fuma. And I assume that was a 6 style. But I think I tried, this is where I misplayed. I tried to test if that was a 6 style. And I should have set my shooting star first and then normal summon the Sangan. Because on the normal summon, they're gonna be asked if their toggle is to on. If you set a card and their toggle is just to on auto, they won't get a chance to respond because you're just setting a card. I don't know, it's kind of a weird Duel Links mechanic. And so because I set the shooting star and I feel no delay, I felt safe. And that was false because I should have done it the other way. So I go for the econ take here, and this is 6 style dual wield. After I special summon the tracker, I realized, oh, he has a 6 style. Let me try the econ take and see what happens. And yeah, there was a 6 style. Luckily, he only goes into Grandmaster, and that's not a huge threat. I can still go for the play I wanted to go last turn. Mistworm. And we're gonna send all those 3 back. I did not activate Wilder's effect right here, because if you activate Wilder and destroy the Grandmaster, he gets to add the Grandmaster back. So there's no point in doing that. I'm better off just destroying him by battle. And I'm putting him back a lot because he had counters on this. They're going back to the hand. I'm not gonna destroy Fuma, so he's not gonna get a special summon. And then this Sangan is going to search a Junk Synchron. And that's what I'm going to use to take care of the Fuma next turn. You know, going into Armades without giving him a summon. So he's going to activate both dojos again. Set the Fuma. He sees the Junk Synchron, realizes what's coming up, and we get the scoop. And then we have a Yugi Moto, which is probably another 6 Samurai. Hey, but it felt good clapping 6 Samurai with this deck. I started wondering after, like now, after I'm already recording, if a third wielder would be worth it. Because I didn't really use the Cyclones much. There's times where I was lacking a monster. So maybe 3 wielder is better. Okay, you're going first, 2 back row. We're gonna Cyclone one of them. I break my rule. If you guys hang out in the streams, you know that my rule nowadays is to always blind the middle one, no matter what. Like, I'll live with the decision, even if 9 times out of 10 this was the right card. If I go in thinking, okay, I'm always gonna do 1 card, I'm not gonna be beating myself up for missing. And here I break my rule. I went for the closest to the deck, and I missed the Canadia. Feels bad, man. But this is still fine because I have 2 cards to protect myself. And I have a Mistworm in my hand, so we're gonna go ahead and Armades. Set the enemy controller and just hit him for 23. And he's gonna summon Seal, and this might seem crazy for some of y'all, but I econ take right here because I didn't want, I mean, I'm not too worried about a Whiz, but part of this is clearing up my board. If I stop his play right here and I Mistworm next turn, I just win. So we're gonna econ take the Seal, he ends the turn. Now I can just Mistworm, send everything back, and go in for the direct attack. That is, if they don't scoop, which they always do. So many people scoop the Mistworm, and I get it, but it's kind of funny at the same time. So yeah, this is the deck. Again, thanks Ace Grimbus for sharing it with me. We need more extra deck space, man, like 2 cards. 1, you know, I'll take 1, but 2 would be ideal. Like, just give us 7 cards, come on. And then you can tech in more cards, maybe tech a level 7, you know, Berserker. Definitely put Stardust Warrior in here. But overall, it's a pretty fun deck. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. Join my Discord if you haven't, the link will be down in the description, along my PayPal link if you guys want to support my channel, support my content. Really appreciate that. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. And till next time.